Kings 88.5.
Kings 88.5 FM.
We got the flavor.
Another day to run through the papers we've got on Kings Local Daily on Kings 88.5. Just so you know, we are transmitting from Central Morovia, Front Street, adjacent the Liberia Water and Seawater Corporation. These are the papers we've got in Hot Pepper, The Independent, Verity News, The News, The Heritage, Women Voices, The Doyen Inquirer, The Nation's Time, In Profile Daily, The Daily Observer, The New Liberia Government Newspaper, and Oracle News Daily. These are the papers we've got in this afternoon on King's Local Daily. Information is vital. 1/3 of our existence centers on information. Without it, you are tossed to and fro and live in the state of denial. We bring the headlines and sub-headlines to you wherever you are, in your car, at your office, your business center, on the table, in the store, in your car, be it commercial, private, wherever you are in the remotest part of the country that you cannot access any one of the newspaper sellers. We bring it to you. We are Kings 88.5, your info station. I'm Sam Andrews, and let's get started with the Hot Pepper newspaper. This is the lead story of the Hot Pepper newspaper this day. We are accuses Boakai of undermining Liberia's peace. He is the former president and world icon, the melting pot of Liberia's peace and stability, George Weah. Weah accuses Boakai of undermining Liberia's peace, and the former president and world icon is on the front page alongside Nebuchadnezzar, Joseph Yema Boakai. The sub-lead stories: Orange Money launches 1 million plus active users mega wave campaign. AML emphasizes commitment to third-party rail use. The back page of the Hot Pepper newspaper. CDC, COP warns immediate expulsion of students over LFA headquarters attack. At Ramadan Iftar dinner, Boakai vows to uphold religious tolerance. U.S. releases schedule for 2025 entrance exam as registration begins Monday. This is how it looks for the Hot Pepper newspaper, always reporting it hot with this lead story. Weah accuses Boakai of undermining Liberia's peace. The Hot Pepper newspaper is out this day for $40 Liberian, only $40 Liberian. You want to get a copy. If you can access any one of the vendors, well, we have done it for you. Kings FM, your radio vendor. Next up is Front Page Africa. This is the lead story of Front Page Africa newspaper. Sitting on a time bomb. sitting on a time bomb. The lead story, front page, Africa newspaper, sitting on a time bomb. The other story, front page, Boakai undermining Liberia's peace, democracy, and integrity. The paper is quoting former Liberian President George Manneh Weah. Boakai undermining Liberia's peace, democracy, and security. The back page of front page Africa is all sports. Kojo defends decision to bench Justin Salmore in World Cup qualifiers. Front page Africa is out today for $40 Liberian. If you are unable to reach any one of the vendors, depending your location, well, we've done it and we're doing it and we'll continue to do it for you. Your radio vendor, Kings 88.5. The paper is out for only $40 Liberian. With this catchy headline, sitting on a time bomb. What is sitting on a time bomb? Well, Liberia, honor Joseph Human Boakai. Everything is about to explode. So be careful with yourself. Watch out. The signs are on the wall. The next newspaper on King's Local Daily is Liberia's most investigative newspaper, The Independent. Lead story of The Independent newspaper: cyber fraud hits Boakai. Cyber fraud hits Boakai as criminals hack Harrisonburg Police Department social media page. Here's the lead story of The Independent newspaper: cyber fraud hits Boakai as criminal hack Harrisonburg Police Department social media page. You want to get a copy of The Independent newspaper and have a full understanding of the paper's headline: cyber fraud hits Boakai as criminals hack Harrisonburg Police Department social media. And he's on the front page. Bad for the government. Everything is just going haywire every day for this government. This is the lead story. Cyber fraud hits Boakai as criminal hack Harrisonburg Police Department social media page. The back page of The Independent: US 1.3 million debt chokes NAFA. Acting boss seeks remedy. 1.3 million debt chokes NAFA. Acting boss seeks remedies. Other stories, the back page quickly. Per 10,000 persons, Liberia has 11 to 12.8 skilled health workers. Per 10,000 persons, Liberia has 11 to 12.8 skilled health workers. Gonglo advocates for female representation in Nima senatorial by-election. NBC outlined reform measures for progress that will be doing it for the authoritative Heritage newspaper, and it is out this day for only $50 Liberian. Please get a copy from any one of the vendors. Next up on King's Local Daily is pro-unity party, pro-government newspaper, Verity News. Lead story, front page of Verity News: police fire tear gas as MCSS students protest. Here's the lead story, front page of the Verity News, pro-unity party, pro-government newspaper, is reporting that the police fired tear gas on students of the Moravia Consolidated School System who were protesting. The police willfully, intentionally, unregrettably used tear gas on those non-violent students. Here's the lead story. Police fired tear gas as MCSS students protest. Chaos erupted on Capitol Hill Tuesday, March 25th, as unarmed students of the Moravia Consolidated School System were tear gassed by officers of the Emergency Response Unit of the Liberia National Police. And it carries the man who is superintending everything, the predatory nature of the police in Liberia, Gregory Coleman. The sub-lead story of pro-Unity Party newspaper Verite, corn artist, ambassador for tourism, slams Senator Edwin Snow. He is Christopher Onanoga, but he doesn't know that he's playing with fire. Snow is not a small politician in Liberia. Snow is not a baby. Chris Onanoga is a baby. That man has a bad character in Liberia with the beauty pageant. We all know. The back page of Heritage News, the Verite newspaper. Chinese national arrested for alleged 4 million fraud. Representative Cole accuses VP Cohn of interfering. That's Representative Marvin Cole. He accused the vice president of putting undue pressure on the Supreme Court as they hear arguments into the Bill of Information filed by the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Councillor Jade Fonanti Kofa. ECOWAS delegation engages the man as speaker. You don't be calling this man speaker. All of you, what kind of media we have in this country? Some of you media institutions, sorry to say, man, if I'm sounding unprofessional, but you're creating chaos. You're helping to create chaos. Richard Kuhn is not the speaker. Then you're continuing to refer to the man as speaker. This is wrong. This could erupt into a serious crisis. Oh, just to get a few dollars from Richard Kuhn and the other people? You know literally the man is not. Then you calling him speaker. Dollar faces US $740,000 corruption allegation. That's the head of Liberia National Disaster Management Agency. All Bwaga people are just soaking in corruption. Rescue, rescue. The Verite newspaper, pro-government, pro-Unity Party newspaper is out for $40 Liberian. Please get a copy. Next up is the news, the nation's news since 1989. Lead story, front page of the news newspaper. Students, police clash. Students, police in violent clash. Several pupils tear gassed. Pupils is the other name for students. So we say students. In journalism, the most common word that is understood by everybody is what you use according to the ethics. So instead of saying pupils, not everybody will understand. The woman on the table will not. But if you say student, she will understand. So that's the lead story. Students, police in violent clash. Several students tear gas. And it carries awful scenes from yesterday by the police under the instruction of Gregory Coleman. Yesterday it was bad. Today nobody should talk. The sub-lead story, Bwaka applauds NPA on progress. Strategic vision for Liberia sport. Bwaka applauding the mayor, but the mayor can contribute a dime to the national budget. When he came first, he said in less than 1 month, he contributed 5 million. 4 million, eh? Then he said in 6 years, we are only allocate 4 million in 6 years, while he took 1 month to generate. The guy can lie. The back page of the newspaper. Government partners validate equity fund actuarial analysis. Sierra Leone, Liberia, deepen cooperation for modernized customs procedures. Orange Liberia launches 1 million active users mega wave campaign. And the last story on the back page, several volunteer teachers put on payroll. That's according to the Minister of Education, Dr. Jaso Malejala, who will attribute the students protesting yesterday to opposition politicians, inciting them. We'll get to that on Real Talk at 3. If you just tune in, your dial is 88.5 Kings. We are transmitting from Street, adjacent the Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation, and this is King's Local Daily. Next up, the authoritative Heritage newspaper, lead story. After 5-month delay, Supreme Court to hear COFA's Bill of Information. Here's the lead story of the Heritage newspaper. After 5 months of delay, Supreme Court to hear COFA's Bill of Information. The lead story of the authoritative Heritage newspaper. It carries the photographs of Councillor Vanning Sherman, who is representing the junta regime, Councillor Arthur Johnson, one of the renowned and reputable, credible, seasoned lawyers in Liberia, representing the Speaker of the House of Representatives. The Speaker himself is on the front page alongside the Chief Justice, Sanan Yo, who has the burden of proof, who will have to determine whether this country remain peaceful or plunge into chaos. And the man who wants it at all costs, Richard Cohn. All of them on the front page of the authoritative Heritage. This lead story for progressive port modernization. President Bouaka lauds NPA leadership. The back page of the Heritage. President Bouaka hosts iftar dinner with Muslims at EJX. Until 2026, Poro, Sandy Society's activities temporarily suspended. That's according to the Minister of Internal Affairs, Francis Yimale. Until 2026, Poro, Sandy Society's activities temporarily suspended. Education Minister alleges hidden agenda behind MCSS student protest. Oh, you say it straight. The woman said opposition inciting students to protest. That tells you her statement is a clear indication that she has failed. Ain't no time for excuse. No time to shift blame on the opposition. Do what you sign up to. The authoritative Heritage newspaper is sold this morning or this afternoon, this day, for $40 Liberian. You want to get a copy, please do. I recommend from any one of the vendors. Next up is the Women Voices. Lead story, front page. For too long, we have suffered in silence. MCSS students protest for better education as police shut them down with tear gas. And the paper is carrying the same, some of the incidents from yesterday. President Bouaka launches Ramadan donation, distributes rice and cash to mosques across Liberia. The back page of the Women Voices newspaper. Foreign Minister Yanti meets UN country team as Liberia prepares for UN Security Council seat. Supreme Court, yes, COFA Bill of Information today. Bouaka undermining Liberia's peace, democracy, and security. Former President George Manen Weah and world icon tells ECOWAS delegation that Boakai is undermining the country's democracy, peace, and stability. Yes, that's true. Glasgow sues Boakai to ECOWAS court. ECOWAS delegation meets majority bloc. The Women Voices newspaper, like other papers, is sold for $40 Liberian. You want to get a copy. Next up is the Doyen Inquirer newspaper. Lead story front page of the Inquirer newspaper. Don't use students to advance your agenda. Education Minister Jasomale Jala will say, all Boakai imported ministers, all of them, they green to this culture. Your country chef blame. Here's the lead story of the Doyen Inquirer newspaper. Don't use students to advance your agenda. Education Minister warns. War Crimes Court Office hold dialogue with partners on traditional justice. Reverend Father Vesa Memorial Funds donates to Banga Catholic Diocese. The back page of the Inquirer. Southeast to benefit from EU 43 million electrification project. Boakai commits to support NPA world-class tender. The Inquirer is out today for $40 Liberian. Get a copy of the Inquirer, one of the leading and credible newspapers on the newsstand in Liberia. Next up is The Nation's Time. And this is what The Nation Time is running as its headline. Nasty integrity. High Court drops shamelessly. Here's the lead story of The Nation's Times newspaper. Nasty integrity. High Court drops shamelessly. Very good headline. Nasty integrity. High Court drops shamelessly. The lead story of The Nation Times newspaper. It carries the photographs of the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Councillor J. Fonati Kofa, and the junta leader who thinks he is Speaker. He isn't. Richard Coon. The back page. SRC transformation. New leadership brings hope to workers. The Nation's Time newspaper is out too for $40 Liberian. You want to get a copy of the paper. You're listening to King's Local Daily on King's 88.5. The In Profile Daily is next up. Lead story. Front page. Over teachers' salary impasse. Students protest. Back rocks Morovia. Here's the lead story of the In Profile Daily newspaper. Over teacher salary impasse. Students protest. Rocks Morovia. And it carries several students who were tear gassed and wounded by the Liberia National Police. Ex-President Weah raises security concern to the United Nations. He couldn't have done it any better. No better time to raise those concerns by the former president and war icon George Weah, because his primary goal is maintaining peace, security, and stability in this country. Why the opposite for Boakai is true: instability, insecurity. Nima County lawmakers remain divided. The back page of the In Profile Daily. Government to put 2,000 volunteer teachers on payroll. Now, wow. Ain't got job. Boakai feel in everything. Everything is rhetoric. ECOWAS delegation meets Representative Coon. Okay, I will just say Speaker Coon because that's what the paper is reporting. That's not my own thing. When we can't on real talk now, then yeah, that's what the paper is reporting. The paper calling him Speaker Coon. So we say Speaker Coon. Majority blocks. We are accuses Boakai. It carries the photograph of the former president in a meeting with ECOWAS leaders. They were so excited, so motivated, so enthused, sitting in the presence of the chief stabilizer, melting pot of Liberia's peace, George Weah. The In Profile Daily is out for $40 Liberian as we gradually wind down. Another Doyen newspaper under review, the Daily Observer newspaper. Lead story. U.S. government seeks dismissal of lawsuit challenging visa, denials, and aid to Liberia. Here's the lead story. ECOWAS delegation meets majority bloc speaker Kun, others. I'm only saying it because the paper is reporting it that way. But I recognize I'm a speaker. NAFA swims in U.S. $3.1 million debt. Acting DG declares emergency reforms. MCSS students protest, demanding better pay for teachers. The lead story of the Daily Observer newspaper. The back page, Action Aid Liberia launches extractive climate research report on DMR for climate financing. And the paper is out for $40 Liberian dollars. Daily Observer, $40 Liberian dollars. You want to get a copy of the Daily Observer. The New Liberia, One Nation, One People, One Destiny, Joseph Yima Boakai newspaper, the Information Ministry newspaper, the government-owned newspaper, New Liberia. Next up on King's Local Daily. You see how we good at Kings? The radio station for everybody, government or opposition, wow. But the dead take opposition thing on the radio. So we're reading your newspaper, yeah? New Liberia, the government newspaper, lead story, front page. According to massive relief for volunteer teachers. Massive relief for volunteer teachers. The paper is quoting Dear Information Minister Jaso Mala, the American Education Minister, who now starts shifting blame. Sub-lead story, LRA preaches tax compliance message in West Africa. The back page of the government newspaper. NPSS cites on progress, strategic vision for Liberian ports. And the paper is sold for $30 Liberian dollars. The New Liberia. The paper with the least amount. Okay, so as we wind down, the last but not the least is the Oracle News Daily, reporting the truth to you on King's Local Daily. Lead story, front page. Creating tech millionaires. Creating tech millionaires. Liberian Telecom Authority Chairman Abdullah Kamara envisions a digital revolution for Liberia. Building infrastructure as tech giants eye country's market is the lead story of the Oracle News Daily. The back page, Emma Glasgow wants 10 million from Boakai. Emma Glasgow wants 10 million from Boakai. Jordan Ayu Foundation donates to Muslim orphans in Liberia during Ramadan. The In Profile Daily is out to today for $40 Liberian dollars. The papers are very reasonable in Liberia, unlike other countries. That's it. That's all the time we've got for King's Local Daily on King's 88.5. Join us tomorrow at 11 in the morning if you can. However, the news, King's Newsroom, is on at 1 this afternoon. You want to join us to get the latest development unfolding, especially what is unfolding right now at the Supreme Court. And then at 3, Real Talk. And that will be followed by the news at 6 p.m. And then at 8, A.B. William is on with Face the Issues. That's the lineup for today. Thank you ever so much for being with us. I'm Sam Andrews.